My first concept, I chose persuasive speeches appeal to human psychology. It's defined as identifying what your target audience cares about and builds on common ground. This concept jumped out at me because I feel that it's always important to pick a topic that your audience may feel strongly about or against. This is important to public speech because public speech is all about appealing to people and having them listen and be interactive when it comes to whatever topic that you have to choose. With my speech, I plan on using human psychology to draw in my audience, as well as to give them something that they can care about and compare it to something that maybe they don't care about as much because it doesn't affect them. My second concept is ethos, pathos, logos on page 169. And it is defined as 3 different persuasive appeals that use reason, logic, emotions, and credibility. This concept jumped out at me because I like being able to appeal to people through many different ways, being through their emotions, through hands-on, through thinking. This concept is important to public speech because each person connects to topics differently, so appealing to each audience member and their interests, experiences, and emotions can make them more involved and more engaged, and make them listen throughout your entire speech. In my speech, I plan on using reason and logic, as well as playing on emotions, so that I am able to get people to understand where I'm coming from and where deaf people are coming from. So I'll be appealing to pathos as well as logos during my speech. My third concept is using convincing evidence, which is on page 176. This is defined as using external or secondary evidence sources, speaking to someone who's an expert in the field and or topic, and offering evidence that an audience needs and that may motivate them. This concept jumped out at me because evidence is very important when it comes to trying to persuade someone, because if your evidence isn't as credible, then people are less apt to believe what you're saying and less apt to lean toward whatever you're trying to persuade them toward. This is important in public speech because evidence is everything when you're trying to persuade someone, because if you're trying to persuade someone to buy, for example, a generic brand of mac and cheese, or the Kraft mac and cheese, and people are going through saying, oh, this one has more preservatives, this one has this one has that. Those things can be backed up, but saying, oh, well, this one just tastes creamier, that's just on personal preference. It doesn't have anything to do with evidence. In my speech, I plan on using a lot of external evidence, as well as speaking to a couple people who specialize in ASL and the careers. So I will also be meeting with a couple of my professors that have grown up around deafness and around ASL and the language and culture, as well as some of my deaf professors.